How's it going, you sexy beasts? Welcome back to another freaking awesome Friday and another super high quality episode of the Fan-Picked Friday Challenge. This is the series where you and that pretty mouth of yours can suggest weapons, classes, attachments, or whatever else you can think of and see how terribly I get my ass kicked. Last week's episode was the Disco Elemental by Steve V, which featured the Vonru Sovereignty's Lasher heavy weapon. If you wish to make a suggestion for next week's episode, go ahead and leave a comment in the section below, and I'll pick one of the most top voted comments to use in the next Fan-Picked Friday Challenge. Today, if you haven't noticed from the intro, we're all about being Canadian. That's right, maple syrup, hockey, and being far too friendly for the world to handle, eh? If it sounds like I'm trying to follow pre-existing stereotypes, it's because I am. This week's challenge comes from one non-RG, which they call the Maple Canadian. They state, with this loadout, you are supposed to engage your enemies in a 1 versus 1 scenario to help keep things fair. After destroying your enemy, you must say sorry, which its shortcut is V8, as to ask for their forgiveness. Play new Conglomerate light assault with jump sets so you can easily reach your enemy. Blitz so they know who hit them by engaging in close quarters. Desperado, again, to keep them engaged in close quarters. Standard grenade and ammo belt so you can keep up the sorriness. Thank you for your challenge, one non-RG. At first glance, I felt like this was kind of a cookie cutter setup since it was just a light assault with a submachine gun, but when you throw in your character saying sorry after every kill, it would quickly become far too humorous. For the sake of conformity, let's cover over some numbers for the Blitz submachine gun. It deals 125 damage, which is pretty average for SMGs, up to 6 meters, and falls off to 84 damage out at 42 meters. In short, this is an extremely close range weapon. The damage model it holds gives it an 8 bullet kill on non-nanoweave targets in close quarters, and falls off to a very abysmal 12 bullet kill at its maximum range. Don't expect to be doing any long range killing. It is, however, loaded up with a 50 round magazine and another 200 rounds in the reserve. Its short reload speed is 2.5 seconds when there's a round still left in the chamber, and a long reload speed of 3.5 seconds with a completely empty magazine. It fires at a delicious rate of 845 rounds per minute and has a bullet velocity of 360 meters per second. The rate of fire is absolutely beautiful, and the muzzle velocity isn't too bad, considering we'll be using it for close quarters, so that doesn't really matter anyway. Well, we know it's under the hood. How does she handle in the hands of a Canadian? Turns out pretty darn well. The challenge didn't state any attachments, so I ran with a naked Blitz, and oh my, did I suck with it. Like really bad, and holy crap, it kind of made me cry. My average KDR was probably around 1.5 to 2.0 when I first started out, which is probably due to me reloading near immediately after every kill. That 2.5 second reload is a lot longer than you think when you compare it to the Cyclone, which is typically the submachine gun I normally run with, and its reload speed of 1.75 seconds. So the reload speed is what kept getting me, and the fact that I was trying to aim down sights with a submachine gun. Yeah. Once I got that out of my head and swapped to just spraying and praying from the hip, my kill-death ratio soared to a solid 5.0, and it felt like I was playing a Twitch-based shooter, much like Unreal Tournament or something. Typically, I was able to take down about 2 enemies with a single magazine, which would result in me being very efficient with apologizing to everyone. I had a pretty sick-ass apology to kill ratio of about 1 apology to 3 kills or so near the end of using this setup. It was rather glorious. Playing as a Maple Canadian, like I said earlier, was just pure stupid fun. It combined my normal playstyle of super hardcore, try hard, lead, scopes, 420 to the max banana hammocks mindset, as well as some random element that was kind of gratifying to pull off after getting a sweet kill streak. I have to admit though that I would usually get caught up plenty of times trying to say sorry to the people that I just killed, and would hit a different button and yelled out "HELP!" as a bunch of enemies started shooting at me. Though half the time I would die, I would just be laughing my ass off from the sheer craziness of constantly saying sorry after having seconds earlier filled them with lead from my cuddly deliciousness maple syrup. If you're wanting to make this a super pro setup for day-to-day use with your Canadian flag underpants, then you might just have to do a little bit of touch-up work to get everything in order. I can't stand running a light assault or infiltrator without a suppressor, so I'd slap one on both the Blitz and the Desperado. Just to be safe, go ahead and slap a laser sight on that too. It couldn't hurt. One final touch is to grab a few bricks of C4 Saris for your utility slot, since it comes in handy far too often. All in all, this is a very solid starting ground for a professional Maple Canadian Sari machine. This was a hella fun loadout to run, and I'm so very sorry if I happened to kill you in the process. I didn't mean it. Maybe, yeah, I probably didn't mean it. But you know, I'm sorry. Thank you once again for your hilariously awesome Maple Canadian challenge, one non-RG. If you guys like this week's episode, please give it a mega super awesome maple syrup thumbs up, because that's the only thing I know Canadian, so I'm going to keep repeating it. If you have any idea for a challenge for next week's episode, go ahead and leave a comment in the section below. Make sure you include any underpants, explosives, weapons, headgear, attachments, bananas, bacon, abilities, or whatever else you can imagine, and I'll pick one of the most top voted comments for next week's Fanpick Friday challenge. Thank you all so much for watching this series and making it such a resounding success. You guys are made of approximately 193.7% win and badassery. If you would like to see more videos like these, then go ahead and subscribe. It's free, eh?